All right, good day again. We're back to talk about another plant group and what would be the proper way of pruning it. And we'll start with our heavenly bamboo. And I've shown you this before, this plant that was in front of the bookstore, that it has the common name of heavenly bamboo. However, it is not a real bamboo, and real bamboo is what we're going to be talking about today. But people just call it like that. And I mentioned before that if you were to prune it, the best way is to selectively thin out some of the taller branches or stems if you're going to bring it down in size, or selectively remove some of the outer stems that are older if you want to make it smaller or thin it out. So this is probably not the best way of pruning it. Once again, somebody's making boxes out of them. So make sure that you select some of those branches, some of the older in particular, get those out of there and have a natural look. But today we get to talk about the real bamboo. And real bamboos are going to have a really nice place in the garden. So the first thing that you need to be aware of is that bamboos are going to grow through what is known as a rhizome, so an underground stem that will allow this plant to continue getting wider and wider and wider. So the next thing that you need to know is that there's going to be two types of bamboo. There's going to be the clumping bamboo that you see right here. That when you look a little bit closer at some of these stems, you're going to notice that they are very close together. So the length of what is known as the internode, the space in between the buds in the rhizome, is very short. And so it's going to get wider and wider and wider over time, but it's going to be a very long time, so many years before it gets out of control. So this is a clumping bamboo. This is one of the many black bamboos that, as you can see, the character of the plant is going to be that really nice stem. So clumping bamboo as opposed to a running bamboo. And the running bamboo, it's still going to be a clump, but as you can see from the distance between all the stems, the internodes are going to be much, much more spread out. And so this is going to get them to be too big or very quickly, allow them to kind of get out of control. And so ideally in a home in Long Beach, you should not be planting any kind of running bamboo because it's going to outgrow its area very, very quickly. The rhizome grows underground, so it is not uncommon for them to get out of control. They're going to come out in cracks and in many areas where they were never intended on being. They do sell some barriers. It's a scam. Do not buy them. The best thing is that if you're going to be using a bamboo, make sure that it's going to be some of the clumping bamboo, not some of the running. And then we're going to have two other types of bamboo. This one with a very, very thick stem. These are referred to as timber bamboo because in Asia, they are used for timber to build houses and a bunch of other structures, or some of the thinner shrubby bamboos that are just going to be ornamentals or for animals to eat and even for people. So timber bamboo, shrubby bamboos, or clumping bamboos versus running bamboos. And so here's the timber bamboo that runs to show you some of a collection of bamboos found at San Diego Botanic Garden or Quail Botanic Gardens, where they have a couple of nice selections. So yes, they can form a forest, and in Asia there are bamboo forests, and that's where the pandas like to live, and that's where the pandas have their natural habitat, and that's what they're going to eat. So entire areas completely covered with bamboo because the bamboo would be the dominant plant species. So here creating a forest out of bamboo, and looking up, you can see the nice stem and all of the leaves that are going to make this a very nice plant. And here, just for comparison, we have a running bamboo on the left and a clumping bamboo on the right side, just for comparison. And here's a different one. This is one of the golden goddess, or one of those golden yellow bamboo. So a lot more ornamental, a lot more for decoration. So you can see the green form. So it is a green form that has mutated, and now it has that nicer color that serves as a better specimen for the garden. And here they created a nice walkway through the middle. Once again, you have a really nice example of some of the stems that are going to be the highlight and the showcase of this great plant. And here's just a tropical garden view with the bamboos that are right there. And even when they're dead, so this one happens to die, it still looks very, very nice as an artistic piece here where it once stood. The two types of bamboo that you may find around here, number one is going to be a clumping, which is known as the Mexican weeping bamboo. We have it in the garden, and here it is growing in one of the businesses here around Long Beach. So that would be one. And here's a different running bamboo that it's being used as a hedge, as a wall. So you can see some of the new stems being made into a wall. And inside here, this parking lot, they're even allowed it to, or planted so that it can cover some of those, that small planter. So it does its job. However, it's probably not the best plant. So here is that one. Not the best plant because it was planted back here, and now there is a shoot right here, and a shoot here, and a shoot here, and a shoot here, a couple of meters away from where the plant was first placed. So this is a running bamboo. And it's going to bring problems later on. So not the best one, but back here, it's doing a good job. Now, if we take our bamboo, the one that we had at the garden, it's a beautiful, iconic piece, always a place for some of the children that go around to take photographs, and a good background for our stage right here, which we'll use it as soon as we go back. And so this is going to show us something that is going to be very important. Once again, if you were to prune this plant, the first thing is that you need to thin out branches, which means you're going to cut them from the bottom. So you can go through here and thin out the branches that are the oldest. As they get older, the nice gold color is going to fade. And so that can give you an idea of which bamboos you need to remove. So favor the young growth, get rid of some of the older stems that are no longer as colorful. And that is going to be a way of making this a lot better. And so you can have a better vision, or you can see through them. So thin out entire stems. And then once you thin them out, you can then raise the leaves. So you raise the leaves to a certain height so that now you are exposing the stems and you're exposing the beautiful golden bamboo color. So this is the golden goddess bamboo. If we go many moons ago to a pruning class, I happened to went back to our archives and got some photographs. So here you can see a beautiful, very young, colorful shoot. And you can see one that is now faded in some areas, and you can see another one back here, as well as the canopy is very low, so you don't really see the stems that are behind the ones in front. So here it's telling me which are some of the stems that I might need to thin out. So it will require a saw that you cut as close to the ground as possible. And here is showing you some of the youngest. So that is a brand new shoot that is just coming out of the ground. So those need to be protected. And so here's an older shoot, here's a younger one, and here's an older one. And so you gradually begin to carry out the work. And when you're done, it's going to look something like this. This is an alumni named Janice. So here you can see how it changed from being very cluttered, very dense, to now having just a few stems that are going to be the iconic piece. More shoots will come up from the bottom, eventually needing to be pruned again. The work should be done about every 2 years when this should be done and thinned out. If we look at it from a different angle, here's where now you can see through into our shade house, and you only have a few of those stems. And from a distance, now you can also see the lifting of the leaves or the canopy. So where you have some really nice foliage, very dense on top, and below you can see through it. It just kind of calls your attention, calls you to go and see it and take a photograph. So those are the steps that we would have taken if we would have access to the garden to go prune this bamboo. Every single piece is going to generate a lot of debris. So it's going to be a lot of material that would have to be dumped. So be aware of that. If we now look at some of the uses of that bamboo and kind of following the same guidelines. So here in a house in Venice, somebody is using them to screen out the neighbors. So very nice use. Hopefully it's not going to get too out of control. Here's where it could use a little bit more work. Very dense, very cluttered. Perhaps that's what they intended to, but it could use a little bit more work. Perhaps more like this, where you just have a very narrow area. So obviously something too dense is not going to make it. So selecting just even a few of the slender stems here. This is not a timber bamboo, but some of the more shrubby ones. And looking at it from a different angle, so you can see where they have used some wire to kind of hold them in place. But it gives a really nice contrast to the back wall. And it even goes opposite to where the wall, all these lines are on the wall. So very nice use and a very nice pruning job. Once again, just selecting those stems, lifting them, and highlighting the beautiful, colorful stems of this bamboo. We have a few other plants that can be treated the same. This is arundel, which is known as giant reed grass. And it's not a bamboo, it is a true grass, but it's very, very, very tall. But it can be treated just like bamboo. So select a few of those individuals that are in the right place, select a number that is you're good with, get rid of the others, and then you can lift it as well. And then in the same manner, we have sugar cane, either the sugar cane, the normal sugar cane, or this, which is known as Pele's purple, which it has a very, very dark purple, almost black stem. So this has the added bonus that it is a very good and very sweet and very soft sugar cane. So if you were to like the bamboo look and would like to have something that at least you can also use and eat, then some of this purple sugar cane can do the job. And it's the same manner, lift, select the individuals, clean the underside so that you have the nice stem, and have those become the showy pieces. And the last photograph that I leave you is a very nice portion of a garden in China where bamboo is native to. And so you can see how nicely it softens the rock and it covers the wall, not too dense. You can still see some of the stem. But this gives you an idea of the great use for bamboo. Great plant, a lot of work. So if you, hopefully as we get back to the campus, we'll be able to work on some of them. Take care, happy Earth Day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.